All right, so we're still looking for those doors, but that's not. I guess that's not something we have to really be too concerned about right now. But some of the components that we have, we've already loaded. I've loaded into week 7 folder. There's this one particular file folder that has a lot of stuff in it, and it's broken down into categories. So that's cars, doors, plumbing, people, plants, miscellaneous, windows, so forth. So if there's a particular window that you want to use, let's say it has 3 different types in this folder, but you can also go to the regular library and choose something different. I think that I'm going to switch my windows up, and I'm going to use this double hung with trim instead. So I'm just going to download it. And once I download it, I'm going to insert it into the project. So it's probably easier if you double click on it to do that than it is to try to go through and try to search for it. So I'm just going to double click, and it's going to ask me to upgrade the model. And it's going to open it up in a separate file. And I'm just going to load into project and close. And I'm just going to choose project 1. All right, so one thing is that one mistake I've made right here is that I should have been saving all along. And that's something that I don't want you to get caught up into not doing as you go along with the project. So even though mine still said project 1, I want to make sure I go ahead and save my work. And I should be doing that every 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to save as project, and I'm going to give it its own folder. And that ensures that you keep these files together. And I'll name it residential project. All right. So now I put this double hung window in, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one instead. I like the look of the casement windows, but I just don't like the functionality. The look of it is a nice look, but I just don't really go for the real, like having to crank the windows to the outside. So what I'm gonna do, I put this one window here where the garage door is gonna go, and what I'm gonna do is actually just use it as my base. I'm gonna match type, and I'm gonna change the rest of these windows. And some of them I'm gonna change back to being single, but for the most part. So that one, I need to take out one first, and then do it. And then I can get rid of the window that I had here. All right, so the garage door that it gave you, hopefully I can find the tab that I had this on. Keep losing the browser. Oh, there we are. All right, so Revit components. doors. And this door is in here twice. So the garage door is inside of the folder twice. So if you don't find it in one place, it should actually be in another. Because I given it to you more than once. Actually, I may try a different window. Something a little bit more decorative. Let's see how that one looks. And we'll scroll down. And let's see. There it is. I'll scroll right past it. All right. So I'm gonna open up this one first. And see how it looks. It doesn't really look any better now. I'll just leave those there. I think I like that better. That's a triple though. So since it's a triple window pane, I may have to download the other one to go along with it. So I'm just going to put it right here for right now. And I'm going to go back to that browser. And do my garage door. All right, so the garage door is going to open up, and I'm going to load that one into project. All right, I'm going to choose. The garage door is a tricky one, so you don't know which one to really choose. All right, I chose the right one, I think. All right, there we go. So, all right, so I'm going to flip this around. All right, so, it's kind of a hard choice. So let's see what this looks like. So I'm not sure what the 335 is. Let's see what that one looks like. So even when you load some of these into the project, they come with sometimes 2 or 3 variations of the same window or the same door. And that one looks like it's a little bit taller. So I think I like that a little bit better. And I'm gonna just kind of flip that one to make it. And when you change these, always check the header height because it will change it. The header height should usually be around 6'8" or 8 feet. I'm sorry, or 7 feet. So you want to make sure that the header height doesn't change. So what I want to do is really find another one of these windows, but only with 2 in it. So I'm hoping that the other one has that. I'm just gonna kind of look through my windows here, see what I can find. Oh, that wasn't the one I was looking for. All right, so I had some Anderson windows somewhere up in there. Oh, there we go. Oh, man, this was also only 2 that I loaded. So I don't think I want to really use those all the way around the whole entire building. It's not enough. I'd have to find a different type that matched that. So for right now, I'm just going to leave the double hungs there. Okay, so all right, so we're still pretty much on skill set 1, but we got one other thing to do on skill set 1, and that is selecting a type of walls. Aside from the type that we already have here. So what I'm going to do is actually change this particular wall to exterior brick on metal stud. All right, so the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm just going to change this one wall, and then I'm going to change the rest to go along with it. So the material is not going to be brick, it's going to be a wood siding. So what we're going to do is click on this wall, we're going to edit type, and we're going to duplicate it. And we always make sure we duplicate it, because if you don't and have to revert back, it just causes a lot of issues. So this is going to be our new exterior wall. And we're going to edit type. And some things we're going to get rid of. So we're going to get rid of the air gap. We don't need that. At least if we do, we don't need it to that level. All right, we're going to change our core boundary. Actually, I think we're going to leave that core boundary at the same. It's 6 inches. All right, so we are substrate plywood with our membrane layer. And this is what we're going to be changing. Everything else pretty much going to stay the same. So this is not going to be brick anymore. This is actually going to be wood siding. So we're going to change that instead. So we're just going to do a little search here. And we're going to go with wood. Let's go with softwood. Oh, I tell you what, let's go to clad white. Because we can always change the color. All right. We're going to say use render appearance. And we're going to be changing the color. I'm going to choose something a little brownish. Maybe a little bit darker. All right. And the pattern is where it kind of gets a little funky. You have to choose it twice. So I'm going to go with horizontal lines. And sometimes you have to do it with both the foreground and the background. This one I don't see the foreground. I only see just that one. All right, so let's go here. I don't want to worry about that one. Not or identity. So we know what that's going to be looking like. So our appearance is what we really worried about. All right. So graphics. All right, color alignment. We won't worry about that. So I think we got those two. If you have a foreground and a background on yours, then you have to change both of those to that horizontal line. All right, so the cut pattern you don't so much have to worry about. That's only when we do a wall section or something like that. All right, let's see what it's going to look like. All right, so next, we're going to change the thickness of this wall, of this panel. So let's go at 7/8. 7/8 thick. I'll hit OK. Let's see how this changes. Oh yeah, that don't look too bad. That actually looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do is use our modify tool, and we're gonna match all the exterior walls to that. Now, if this happens, then that means that you'll have to go back and go back to level 1, and you'll have to split that wall because technically it's not supposed to go to the inside. Or you can always do this since you haven't put any room tags in. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, I want to move it while it's spinning. All right, so we're just going to pull this down, and then we're just going to go back and put another 5-inch generic wall in the place of that one. And we'll align it. And if you get a little nibbit like this, just align that so it don't look crazy. So we'll just take a look at it in 3D. So that's what it really should look like. So we don't want to. And if any of your materials on the inside of the building, then you need to flip the wall. So you'll have to go to level 1 and actually physically click on the wall. And if you just double arrow, it's not on the outside, then you have to flip the wall around. All right, so I didn't never go back and put in these bifold doors. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go with regular doors and be done with it. Not a garage door though. Gonna be a very interesting closet. All right, so our closet doors, I want to put them at 30 degrees also. I don't think it really makes that big of a deal. So we're just gonna do the closet. We're just gonna do all doors that are regular doors. Not sure what that was about. This one I'm gonna flip. All right. I think that is all of them. I'm gonna center this window here on the great room. So I kind of watch my. There is a way to actually make these things equal. There's like an equal sign somewhere on there that you can press in. I think that's it. Nope, that is not it. That I'll have to look up. There is a way to make it equal distance, but there's not much difference between 9'10" and 10 feet, so nobody be able to tell that 2 inches difference in it. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, almost 20 minutes. All right, so that gives us all of one. And so for the last minute, we're going to do the floor. Then we're going to do 2 separate floors. All right, so architecture, floor, hit the drop down. I'm going to choose wood joist. In fact, yeah, we're going to use wood 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 joist finish, and I'm going to use this rectangle instead. So I'm gonna go from the core center of the wall and just kind of make this a cross here. You know what? That's not a good idea. I think I'm just gonna draw it. So if you can go to the core center of the wall, that will actually work out much better for you. So, let's go. All right, I'm having glitch errors here. I'm gonna end the video right quick.